Okay, now we talk about the detailed targeting, which is demographics, interests, and behavior. Here we have a field where we can write something in, for example, sport, and then we get different results. It looks a bit like the location, but is of course something completely different. And this is also the biggest or has the biggest influence on our audience size, because now we have 24.8 to 29 million people. But with the interests, it's a bit smaller then. Because, for example, here, sports interests with a size of 1.4 billion to 1.7 billion. It is actually bigger, but with location and gender and age combined, it decreases the audience size. So now it's only 18 to 21 million. So everybody that is interested in sports. But you also have, next to interests, employers, for example here, Rebel Sport, or you have behavior, sports page admins, you have job titles, something with sports, for example, or let's search for football. You have schools, here NCAA football. You have, let's search for that. Here, National Football League, so also like clubs, not only companies. And you have to be very careful what you take, because if you take, instead of football here this year, employer, then you only have a couple of people that are employees of that company. So here you need to be very precise. If this search function is not good for you, you can click here on Browse. Then you have the 3 categories. Here in demographics, you have education. For example, the field of study, economics, or I don't know, finance analysts, education, maybe if I have a book for finance analysts, then I can easily filter them by education. Or you search for a school, or you click on level, and I only want people here with a master's degree maybe. This could make sense for job campaigns. So if I have a job that I want to offer, then I can do that, of course, also with Facebook, but I only want to include people with a master's degree. So that is the education. In demographics, we also have financials, life events, parents, relationship, and work. In financials, we have the income. Maybe I have a high price product. Then I could say household income, maybe top 25 to 50% or top 10%. So the richest 10%. But this is a bit complex, of course, in this case for Germany and Austria. So this only makes sense for the US. We have life events, maybe people that are away from the family or away from the hometown. And when you simply hover on that field, you always see on the right side here, size and description. Here it says people who are away from their hometown. Size is pretty big with about 136 million people. But of course, with the location, age, and gender filter, it's very small actually. We can try that. Now we have 25,000 people. When we click that, we only have 1 million left. So it makes the audience pretty small. Anniversary with 30 days or with 31 to 60 days. This could make sense if I have maybe something for marriage or partnership. Maybe I sell bracelets for couples. Then I could use this here. Also, what else? Birthday, upcoming birthday, or birthday only in November. Maybe if I have, as I said, bracelets with a specific date on it or with a specific month on it, so bracelet with November, December, October, I could make an ad set for every product, so for every month, and then click here on birthday in November to only show that to people that have a birthday in November. It's a lot of effort, yes, so you need to create 12 ad groups, but still, it is a way to go. Upcoming birthdays, only one click, also possible. If you have like things for a birthday party, balloons, cake, something else, you could run ads for people with an upcoming birthday. Friends of men with a birthday 7 to 30 days. This is basically the same, but for the friends of the person that has a birthday, which is probably even better because they are the ones that then buy a cake maybe or buy balloons. Besides friends of, also people with a new job, with a new relationship, with or people that are newly engaged, or here category parents all, or with adult children, with early school age children, with preschoolers, and so on and so on. So you can really be specific here. Relationship, the status, if they are divorced, domestic partnership, engaged in a relationship, and so on. This is rather simple. And work as well. So the employer you could search here, or the industry. So maybe people that work for Microsoft only, or are Microsoft certified professionals. I could do that here. In this case, it makes my audience too small. So I should delete that. Up here I have demographics, work, employers, and I simply delete that. Okay, industry the same. Maybe I have a newsletter that I promote, or I'm a marketing agency and I now only want to target people in marketing, which is maybe marketing decision makers. Let's search that up here, marketing. Here, interest in marketing, that could make sense. Or, no, not employers. Here, job title, marketing agent, marketing manager could make sense. We only want to target a specific job maybe. Here we have a lot of titles with marketing manager. Sales and marketing manager, I only want to target people with that specific job title. Then I would need, because we have a lot of them here, a lot of different titles with the same meaning, I would need to add all of them. Marketing manager. I would now click on all of them because they are nearly the same. So every job title I see here on the right side, I would add, because otherwise the audience is too small if I only input social media marketing manager. Okay, so this is number 1, demographics. Let's do this now for the web shop, but actually for a web shop, it is not important because it's not a product only for parents. It doesn't matter how the relationship is. Education is not important. Financial is not important. Life events also not important. That would be good if you have a backpacking store for tourists. Then this, of course, would make sense. You would search here for life events away from hometown or planning a trip or something like this. Okay, so for our web shop, we don't need demographics. So we continue with interests. That is easier, but here you need to be precise. You have different categories: business, entertainment, family, fitness, and so on. And you click here on the drop-down menu to have other subcategories or interests. For example, fitness wellness, you have bodybuilding, physical exercise, fitness, physical fitness, running, weight training, yoga. In this case, for our sneaker webshop, I will add people that like running and physical exercise and physical fitness and maybe also weightlifting or weight training and yoga. No, only yoga because it's a normal sports shop, so this is okay. Then food is not important for us, but hobbies and activities. Here we have some subcategories, and I want maybe home and garden or arts and music, politics, whatsoever. In this case, we could click on vehicles. No, doesn't matter in the end. Skip that. Shopping and fashion, sports and outdoors, own categories. So shopping and fashion, here it's about clothing, and here shoes. So this is existing. People that like shoes, perfect. Women's clothing and men's clothing, that is also okay. So people that are interested in this also get to see my ad. And then the most important category, sports and outdoors. If you want to have all subcategories, you click on select all. In this case, let us check that. But actually, American football, auto racing, golf, marathon, skiing. Yeah, actually, we can use all, or we skip skiing and auto racing because I wouldn't know why they need sneaker. Golf, no, also different shoes. College sport, marathons, yeah, that is okay. And outdoor recreation, boating, camping, fishing. Here we take maybe camping or fishing. If we sell also tents or lamps or whatever, in this case it's only sneakers. So this doesn't make sense anyway. But the chance is high that people that like camping, for example, also like other sports. So they are anyway included here in sports and outdoors, or here in sports. Technology, if they like computers or consumer electronics, in this case also not important. Then we have the last category, which is behavior. Here we have behavior about digital activities, but also mobile device user and so on and so on. First point is anniversary, that we don't need. Then mobile device users, maybe people that have a recent detected device here with Facebook access, but in the end, also not important. Behavior, purchase behavior, purchase with offer, that is nice. So people who are more likely to purchase with an offer, that we can include, of course, why not? Because they are more likely to buy the product. But there's also a way to kind of have that included later for the ad level, so you don't need to input it here. Let's just delete it because otherwise it gets confusing. Consumer classification, Philippines maybe, people who prefer high value goods in Philippines, or maybe it's an Austrian store, people who prefer stuff from Europe, whatever. Digital activities, new active business last 12 or 24 months maybe. Also the same here. Operating system, Canvas gaming, Facebook payment users. So a lot of different stuff, really a lot. We have also here soccer, for example, friends of soccer fans. We have travel, so lots of other stuff. So here, for example, if you have an adventurer store, you could use travel here. So now we added a lot of things. And we see that the audience is 17.5 to 20.5 million users, which is fully okay. Estimated daily results, 2.6 to 7.6K, and about 54 to 155 link clicks. That would be okay as well. What you can do now with the detailed targeting is also exclude something. So here we have a lot of sport stuff, exclude maybe, by clicking on this exclude button, exclude maybe people that like to play soccer, whysoever. But we could do that. So we can also exclude people that match this and that criteria. And this is of course always an or. So physical exercise and or physical fitness and or running and so on. So it's not that the person has to have all these interests. Okay, so one of them is enough. One of that is okay. You can also click on narrow audience. Then you can have an and, which means you type in here running. Then you click on narrow audience and click here on another word. For example, running and soccer. Then you have not this or, you don't have this person has to like soccer or running, but this person has to like both, because here it's an and must. You have this also as a picture. This is a really detailed audience, people who like this and this. So only the small amount of people that like both. So people that like all of that, or one thing of the above, and likes shoes, which decreases the audience to 4.3 to 5 million, because all of the people included must like shoes as an interest, while up here all is combined. But still it could make your audience a bit more concrete. And you can also narrow even further by clicking must like something from the above, one of that or a few of that, and for sure shoes, and maybe as well clothing, interested in clothing, or this and that job title. But you can also narrow down by clicking on exclude. So they have to like one of the above or a few of that, and for sure shoes, but they are not allowed to like clothing maybe, which would make the audience too specific, but still it is possible to do that. So if your audience is very big, you can use that narrow function to use and exclude to make it more specific. What you now also can do is click on Advantage Detailed Targeting, reach people beyond your detailed targeting selections when it's likely to improve the performance. Sounds hard or sounds confusing, but actually it's very nice, because I don't know for sure if I now have included my whole target audience with these interests here. Because Facebook, of course, knows better who could be interested in my shoe ad. But when I click here, Facebook might also show my ad to somebody who is not included here, because I forgot motorcycling up here. So then this person wouldn't be included because motorcycling is not an interest I added. But still, if Facebook thinks that people with an interest in motorcycles are or should be part of the target group, then they do it themselves. So it improves your interests selection, which is actually good, because it's so much you can do here. And Facebook, of course, knows better what might work. So this is also something I would use. Last point is languages. Here it's about the browser language or Facebook language. So if you have your Facebook on English, you won't get a German ad. Here, German, because Austria and Germany make sense. Estimated audience size 3.5 to 4 million. Without language, it is 4.3 to 5. So it is a bit smaller with the language in here, because in Austria and Germany, so in German-speaking countries, people or a lot of people have English as their language. So I always have English or German here because I have my browser and my Facebook in English, so I wouldn't get any German language ads here. That is why I always have English and the main language of that country, which makes the audience 4 to 4.6 million. That is quite okay. Now this big part about the target audience is finished. We are done with that.